I'm going to go over a few tickers starting with SPY and give you some price targets for Monday. SPY ended the week at $594.20, up 0.63%. To the north side from where we are takes us to the red line, and that is 2 standard deviations, roughly 594.73. This is also resistance and a potential take profit area, and also a potential stop limit area. Above that, at 3 standard deviations, 596.02, another potential take profit area. And at 4 standard deviations, that will take us to 597.36. If we hit this line, or this line, I will anticipate a pullback as people take their profits and they leave. They will lock in and take off. You can bet on that, especially if we get to this level. If we wick up here, it will come down. Now, to the south side, the middle of the trend is roughly 592.07, 589.49, 588.15, and roughly 586.81. Looking left, you can see when we hit this area of resistance, we fell back down. We're making another run for it. And if we do, that's why I anticipate it to go down. But we could bust through that line and then work our way down again. And then here's support, and a buy-in. This is resistance, and we chopped sideways as well. We followed this line, and we are still in an upward pattern on the 5-minute time frame. And also looking left, you can see this was support. This is one level of support, potential buy-in, and buy-in. And people did, and it ran. There's a gap to the south side that will take us down to 564.97. We are moving farther away from it. However, just be aware that it is lurking out there. If more bad news comes out about tariffs or interest rates or whatever it may be, a unicorn event like an earthquake, a shooting, something like that. But again, we are still going up on the 5. Check out the different time frames to give you different buy and sell signals. This is for Monday on the 5, which is just price action for the day. And this gap fell, so we gapped up and then we made our way down. So that was an expected move to 561.97. So congrats if you made some money off of that play. Many other gaps closed, but the other gap I want to point out to the north side takes us, let me go to the 15-minute time frame so you can see this better. I can only scrunch my mouse to make the chart go smaller, and then it doesn't let me go anymore. So basically, as you can see, all we did is retrace from here to here. This whopper of a gap, we gapped down so it fills to the upside, and we closed at 537.29. So moving it to a different time frame so I can see more of the chart shows me that this gap touched right about there. And maybe even right, let's do that, touch right. Yeah, I'm gonna give that, oh yeah, it touched. All right, so that closed on the 4th of April. No longer a landmine to the south side. It closed out at 505.29. So I'm cleaning that up. When did it open? Oh my goodness, look at this. 505, what did I put? I put 06. Let me just delete that. When did this, that closed up at 509.58. Oh my goodness. This gap opened up. Let me clean it up just a hair here. On May 3rd. Oh. All right, it just looked longer because I had to extend it so far back. So that opened up on May 3rd and closed on, let me delete that. You know what, it's just better if I go to the 30-minute. Let's do that so I can, there we go. So that's cleaned up, that's done. This $519 one closed on Friday the 4th. I marked this out on the 5, so sometimes it doesn't line up. So just be aware of that. All right, and what else? Everything else looks good. Okay, the gap that I wanted to point out, excuse me, will take us to $612.51. When are we gonna hit it? Well, it's gonna be maybe Tuesday on the 30-minute if we continue to go up. But let me go back to the 5 because that's where I really like to look at this. See, on the 5, we're not even in the channel, not in the zone, not even close. Just something to be aware of all the way up here. That is many, many, many trades away. But just know that we could go back to a level we've already been. The 52-week high is $613.23. That is just marked out from a gap that we went south, and then we're going to reverse course at some point. Okay? So that's it for SPY. Now, at the top of the list is United Healthcare. That's gotten beaten up like crazy, but we went up 6.4%. I've tracked that many times. I'm not going to do that right now. I prefer to go over the losers that have potential to go to the upside. Let's try this one. We ended the day at 165.57. The 1-year price target is 198.93, which represents a 20% return from where we are, but that's a long ways off. We are still in a downward channel on Amat. Here are your targets for Monday and Monday only, the middle of the trend. Takes us to 166.43. That's resistance. We could chop sideways or continue to slowly fall down. Next up, 173.34. This gap closes out at 174.22, 176.89, 180.20. To the south side here, because there's always a south side. Okay, let me make that a little bit better. Let's move this out of the way. Support, 159.85. Let me move this one out of the way. This closes out at 156.03, which basically lines up at -3 SD. Support here, 153.11, closes out at 149.80, 149.98. All right, this gap already closed. What do we have in the big picture? That gap already closed. We had earnings here. They reported 7.1 billions. The estimate was 7.13. So, where was it? Okay, earnings was on this day. So we went from here to here, bounce off support up to resistance, because that is resistance. And now if we hit it officially, we could roll over. But this looks like it has room to go up and then roll over. So watch out for that. Now I want to go on the 15 and show you this gap that is still in play to 183.85. And we could start touching that again on Monday, and in theory we could even close out on Monday. That'd be nice. And then we have this gap to the north side still in play, and that could officially start on Tuesday if we continue to go up. And where does that here? Let me mark out the price, 195.34-ish. Okay, and this gap, we have a lot of gaps, many gaps to the downside to be aware of. Here's 1, 2, and then I don't know if there are other ones I haven't looked at. Okay, the next one I want to go over will be Palantir. very quickly since I've gone over this one many, many times. Oh, one thing about Amat, let me just see something and show you the daily, because it's been a very long time since I looked at this. Actually, let's just go, okay, the daily, oh, we've rolled over after hitting resistance. The weekly, it's still going up. And what about the monthly? All right, so when I tracked this a long time ago, okay, at a low point, 104 I tracked it at. It looks like 104. I just marked out price at 104 in 2022. Boy, that's a big gain if you were able to hold on that long. But look, we hit resistance here, and that lines up with here. And now we're going back up again. Is this going to be another leg up? Possibly. 165. So one target is 175.44, 209.63, and possibly 244.89. What's the 1 year? 198.93. Okay, that's enough of Amat. Let's go back to Pltr. Okay, very quickly. All I'm going to do is track Monday's price action. And it looks like we're going either sideways or going down. Look at that resistance and a major sell-off. Okay, price targets for Monday. 131.08, 132.23, 133.41, 128.68, 126.32, 125.09, and roughly 123.90. Okay, look at the bounce here at support. This is resistance. We busted through and fell back down. All right, up on the 14th, the middle of the trend was here. And today, the middle of the trend is 128.65. We could roll over to here and then chop sideways and then just follow the line, which looks like it's going even slightly downward. Okay, just be aware of that. And then we have a gap to the south side at 118.47 that is still in play. Still a landmine to the south side, as well as 110.57. And the 52-week high was 133.49. And that hit right there, 133.49. I had considered selling some, but I didn't. Oh, we've got another gap to the south side there. Many gaps. We're basically in uncharted territory as we continue to make higher highs, but then that leaves us gaps to the downside, which could be a buying opportunity for some people. That 52-week high was achieved on Wednesday, May 14th. And I have no other gaps to the upside, which scares me. I don't like that because, again, we'll be in new territory. So on Wednesday, May 14th, the 1 year price target was 150. What are we at now? It's still 150, but to the downside, 103 and 40 bucks. Okay, that's Pltr. I'm going to go with Aapl really quickly. AAPL. Okay, very quickly here. $212.34, $213.03, $213.73. 223.74 to the north side, this gap still in play, but we're in a downward channel on the 5. This gap to the south side is still in play as well. That will close us out at roughly 198.76. And that starts at roughly 207. Okay. And oh, this gap, oh, look at this. This gap hit, so let me clean that up on the 13th of May. Congrats if you played that. And that started at 2:06. And I think that's it for, oh, this one needs to be cleaned up. Okay, that took us down to roughly 193.41. Okay. That gap closed. Everything else is nice and tidy and to my liking, so that's it for that. And then we have other gaps to the north side. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give you a bonus because I was going to stop here. XRP USD. Okay, this is a moving target. So what I'm going to do is mark something else, and we're rolling over because we hit resistance. Okay, where's my toolbar? Right here. This is on the 5. I really should do this on the daily because it's going to change. But to the south side, the middle of the trend is right here. Price is going to change the minute I mark it out, but that's okay. This will at least kind of give you an idea. All right, and then to the north side, I'm going to mark it out this way just because this is traded 24 hours. There. I'm going to see if we hit resistance and if we roll over after we do, because that's what usually happens for a potential leg up or down. There. And I will revisit this later. Okay. Note the bounce at support, sell off at resistance, support, support. This is resistance, but we're following the line, still going up on the 5-minute time frame. And on the, excuse me, the daily, we're going up. On the monthly, or the weekly, still turning up. But it looks like it's going to cross and turn over and going up on the monthly. Now let's get back to the 5. And there we go. Now let me show you. Let's go to the daily there. See, those are my, we're just a little blip here on the 5-minute, whereas this is the daily, taking us to $2.93. You know what? I'm going to mark that out on the daily and the bigger time frame. And to the south side, or right there. Okay, now I'm going to flip this over and have you read this. This is a public service announcement. If you get a moment, please take a look at it. And if you have any friends or neighbors that happen to own a home in this development, please let them know. And I appreciate it very much. If there is a ticker that you want me to go over, let me know and I will make a video of that. Thank you so much for watching. Let's oust this lady and this man and make some changes. All right, have a great trading week.